Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another Chosen Lifeline for Men. My name is Walter Jennings. I'm your Chosen Life practitioner, where I have been called to challenge and change the motivation, mentality, and mettle of men. Today, I want to spend a couple of minutes talking about one of the oldest and one of the more popular metals that was one of the first metals originally discovered and used as currency. I am talking about none other than silver. Silver is a soft, white, lustrous transition metal, and it exhibits the highest electrical conductivity, thermal conductivity, and also reflectivity of any metal. Now, the metal is found in the Earth's crust in a pure elemental free form and as an alloy with gold and other metals. Most silver is produced as a byproduct of copper, gold, lead, and zinc refining. Silver has been an important part of our history, from medicine to photography to religious rites. Again, it is one of the oldest. And so a couple of other really interesting facts about silver is that it is the most reflective metal. And because of that, it is actually used in the creation of mirrors. So when you see glass, your mirror is a reflection both figuratively and literally of silver and glass being used together. It is also, of course, used in telescopes, microscopes, and solar panels. Number two, the largest producer of silver is Mexico. Yes, so the country of Mexico is the largest producer of silver, and it has had that distinction and title for a while now. And in 2017, it is said that Mexico produced 5,600 metric tons of silver. Number two, Peru. Number three, the third largest producer in the world of silver, is China. Now, number three, silver again has been around for a long time. It is one of the first 5 metals ever to be discovered, and silver objects have been found dating all the way back to 4000 BC. And silver was actually the first metal, not gold, but silver was actually the first metal used as currency in ancient Egypt. And during that time, it was actually valued. There was a time where silver was actually valued higher than gold. Number four, silver is actually good for your health. We've all heard the phrase that a person was born with a silver spoon in their mouth, right? And we normally attribute that to wealth, and a portion of that is true. However, that statement originally came as a person that never got sick because of silver's germ-killing properties. In olden times, children were fed with silver spoons, and so only typically wealthy families were able to afford silver spoons. But again, it was based on actually the health components and properties of silver. And one of the more interesting facts about silver is that the compound silver iodide can be used for cloud seeding, which is used to help produce rains and to also try to control hurricanes. So silver, as one of the oldest and popular metals, is used for a myriad of different things. And so just like silver is very important, optimism is very important as well, but it is really dependent on how we use it. So optimism is hopefulness and confidence about the future and the future successful outcome of something. Optimism actually has been shown to boost our immune system. It protects us from infectious diseases and decreases the likelihood of breast cancer relapse. So similar to silver, optimism actually does have some medical qualities that are good for us. Now, pessimistic people have twice as many infectious illnesses and twice as many usually doctor visits. But even those physical challenges are rooted in the idea of increased social support that people that are optimists that they enjoy. Studies have shown that optimists live longer and are less likely to die from accidents or violent events because they take active steps towards also protecting themselves. So their optimism is also combined with caution. So it's not a matter of throwing caution to the wind by being an optimist, but it's actually, again, adopting a more positive outlook that also influences behaviors. Now, some of the benefits of optimism is our stress management. Optimists tend to cope better with stress, and they take, again, more direct action in the face of adversity. When something bad happens to a person that practices optimism, their habitual positive habits of thinking are activated, and they look for ways believes that the situation isn't as bad as they thought that it actually could be, and they believe that things are going to get better. So an optimist has a very strong belief system that trends itself to the positive rather than to the negative, and the belief that things will work out better, and that becomes their setback and their challenges a lot easier to deal with. Number two, more positive emotions and better relationships are experienced by optimistic people. They're generally happier, and again, because they have a positive disposition. And all of this boosts the feeling of anticipation, and which is the greater and more pleasurable to the anticipated event. And of course, all of this makes sense because it produces a sense of hope and a positive attitude about the future that makes us more content with the present. Optimists have more positive mood and morale, they have more vitality, they have a stronger sense of mastery, and they have a higher sense of self-regard. They feel in control of their destiny, and all of that positivity, it radiates outward, which draws in other people. So if you find yourself in a place where you're actually, it seems like you're repelling people, you may be operating in pessimism. When operating in optimism, you'll find that you'll actually draw more people to you. The third point and benefit of optimism is that it has fewer negative emotions. It allows you to minimize the negativity that you're operating in. Optimists, they experience less depression and anxiety. And according to psychology, depression is often accompanied by pessimism. People who operate in a pessimistic mentality, they blame themselves for their misfortune and they believe that it's permanent. And this ultimately ends up impacting every area of their life. Depressed people, they exhibit a learned helplessness and they feel that they're not in control of their lives, which leads to them becoming passive. In contrast, optimism brings a sense of agency and confidence, and with that provides less despair and less hopelessness. And lastly, optimism provides a better sense of performance. Helen Keller included in her essay about optimism, she said that optimism is the faith that leads to achievement, and nothing can be done without hope. In other words, the belief that it is going to work out better, that it is going to work out positive, and that it is going to have a good outcome is what ultimately leads to a greater achievement. And so because of that attitude, optimists, they exert more effort towards their goals and they persist in the face of obstacles. So when optimists expect something great and they don't achieve it, then their frontal lobe of their brain goes to work to figure out exactly what happened and also to learn the lesson from it. And so this idea of expecting greatness is something that an optimist adapts to, and they use every situation as a learning opportunity to help them as they move forward. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning into this Chosen Lifeline for Men. My name is Walter Jennings, your Chosen Life practitioner. Be sure to reach out to me at chosenlifespecialist.com. Book me for a session. I love to speak with you about your optimistic mentality and how we can continue to cultivate it. Thank you for tuning into this Chosen Lifeline for Men, where we have been called to challenge and change the motivation, mentality, and mettle of men.